I love love. I really do. But it is not enough for your relationship success. In fact, I think that the idea that love is all that's needed for our relationships to succeed is a harmful uh, misconception, maybe even downright lie. I mean, people don't even know what it takes to make relationships succeed, let alone what it means really to love. But I'm gonna bust that open today. I believe, I'm gonna just let's get straight into it. I believe that what it really takes to make your relationship successful is not love. Love is a part of it, sure. But what it really takes, my friend, is leadership. And when you learn to lead in love, from love, with love, for love, you put these two together at home, in your marriage, with your most important person, even in your business or career, you are going to create a foundation upon which you can build everything else. And that's what we're talking about today. Welcome to another Catalyst conversation for the in the we're revolutionizing relationships. Welcome. This is a Catalyst conversation for a relationship revolution. Here, we challenge the unquestioned assumptions about love. We flip the script on what you have been taught and reveal the truth that no one has told you. Okay? Here, we are unlocking a whole new paradigm of partnership, one that anchors in consciousness and empowerment and results in the kind of relationship that most people only dream of. As I mentioned, today we're going to talk about why leading in love isn't just the thing that will save or grow your relationship. It is the thing that will change your whole life, including your success, your abundance, your business, your vision, your dreams. Okay. So, I can't think of a more important conversation we could be having, my friend. Again, if you haven't been tuning in to these conversations with me, I understand and will stand on this belief 100% that our relationships are the foundation to everything else in our life. And when we learn how to lead them consciously and intentionally to where we want to go, we have that now we've stepped into our power, right? We have taken leadership, ownership of the life that we're creating. That is what it takes for success. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself though, okay? If you haven't tuned in to these conversations before, let me take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Jenny Wallig. I am an award-winning relationship mentor, speaker, author, and educator, and I am a disruptor, my friends. I love challenging what is not working, the assumptions and expectations, and bringing in a new perspective that is going to liberate us and make the world, frankly, a better place through more conscious and evolved relationships. That is my mission. Okay. I work alongside my partner and soulmate, Calvin O'Seely. We are the founders of Powerful Love Relationships and the creators of the 3-pillar Powerful Love Method, which is a proven path to saving, healing, improving, expanding your relationship, even if your partner isn't doing the work with you yet. Here at Powerful Love and in these Catalyst conversations, our goal isn't just to teach you how to do relationships better. It is to redefine how relationships work, to unlock their power and potential, and to empower you, fellow visionary, to be able to create a relationship that fills your heart truly and fuels your dreams. So, you ready? Let's get into it. Leading in love is not a nice to have kind of concept, right? It's fabulous. It is necessary to have love, right? It is necessary that your relationship has love, but necessary and not sufficient. Have you ever heard that before? Necessary but not sufficient. It is an essential ingredient, but it is not enough on its own. Leading and leading in love, that is the key ingredient. That is what makes your relationship successful. And it becomes your greatest leverage point in accelerating your success in your relationship, in your life, in your business. Without leadership at home, though, right? Like without leadership at home in your most important relationships, you are risking that everything else crumbles, because again, your relationship is the foundation, right? Home, this partnership is what we build our world around, is it not? It is our secure base, right? That is language from attachment theory, if you haven't heard it before. And what it means is that when we have this safe place to come back to, it empowers us to feel courageous enough, safe enough to go out in the world and explore and take risks. And without that safety, we play small, we shrink, we hide. And if you're in business or if you're chasing big dreams, you cannot hide. You cannot stay small. Not to reach those dreams. Everything that we desire lies on the other side of our comfort zone, lies in the in the unknown. Okay? And so in order for us to really truly venture powerfully and in an aligned and resonant way into the unknown where all of our dreams and desires exist, we need to have a safe place to come back to. We need to have that secure rock that we know is always there, like supporting us. And that is our partnership. That's our marriage. That's our relationship. That's our family at home. So learning how to lead that, learning how to create that is biologically necessary. Okay? And not only that, let me add that like this is so important because when you're distressed at home, when things are not going well, when you're fighting or feeling unsafe, it drains our energy. You feel exhausted. You feel unmotivated. You lose focus. You lose confidence. And that is also, right, like key to our success. The energy, the focus, the confidence, the courage, right? Like, do you see how this is all fitting together? So, learning to lead in love fuels us with the safety, with the stability, and with an uptick in our energy. When we can create a really powerful relationship, it's not just that like we stop the drain, it's that we get more energy, more inspiration, more clarity. This is a win-win-win-win, right? To learn how to lead in love. Leadership, that is the missing key. That is what success really requires. Leading in love does not mean controlling your partner, right? Making them do what you want them to do, right? It does not mean doing everything by yourself. I want to be very clear about that. In fact, leading from love is really about learning how to stay in alignment, stay in power, stay in the energy of love and kindness, and ask for what we need in a way that's more effective. Hold our partner accountable in a way that's more effective. Using the influence we already have in our relationship to benefit the good of the entire system. Because that's what love is, my friend, right? That's why we're leading in love and leading from love and leading for love. We're not just leading. Leading is maybe bossing people around, managing people. That's not what we're about here. We're about doing that from a place of love. And love is the willingness to extend ourselves for the spiritual growth, for the highest good of ourselves and our partner, of the entire system. You have to be able to think relationally to understand. You have to be able to extend yourself to really get what love is, right? To put yourself energetically out of just thinking about me and into thinking about what does everyone need. And the great thing is that um, we can practice what Terry Real calls enlightened selfishness, right? Where we recognize that sometimes being selfish is what's good for the whole, because if we're unhappy and miserable, the whole is not going to go well, is not going to be happy. But that's this consciousness. This is self-leadership where we're intentionally choosing our steps in this dance of love and leadership, right? Really, we're just taking radical ownership of our own part. I need to have some more coffee. I love coffee. Okay, so this is about, I just want to be really clear because it can be like, we have resistance. I don't want to do it on my own. And why doesn't, my partner have responsibility? They do. This is leading from love. Learning to lead is about showing up with courage and clarity and consistency and consciousness, intentionality, deliberateness, right? Even when it's hard. It's doing the loving thing, even when you don't feel loving. That is leading, right? So that you can guide the relationship toward what you both want. Most people think that love is a feeling, right? When we think about love, we think about it as a feeling. I've already clarified, it's not just a feeling, right? Loving is the willingness to extend yourself for the spiritual growth of yourself and your partner, right? The entire system. And I think it's easy. What I really love about the idea of leadership is that it's almost easier for our brain to understand that this is a skill. I think love is a skill too, but when let's just like talk leadership, and then our brain is like, oh yeah, I can learn that. I can learn how to do that effectively. That's a powerful paradigm shift, right? That can click in for us. If I want to be successful in my relationship at home, and I want to build a foundation for everything else, and I want to learn to lead all my relationships with my clients, with my colleagues, with my business partners, with my friends, with my boss, whatever it is, right? Wherever you're at, learn to lead yourself. Get really good at this interpersonal effectiveness skill, which is like the one skill we need for everything that nobody teaches us. Again, my soapbox, I know, but that's what we're talking about, right? We can learn it, and it's almost easier for us to recognize, okay, how do I lead in this moment? And then we can ask, what is the loving thing to do, right? Leadership, when combined with love, turns the love that you have into the results that you desire. Okay, because I'm sure that you love very big, and I'm sure that you've been loving a lot. But if you're just loving, intentional, good intentions and everything, if you're just loving, but you're not consciously leading where that love goes and how that love is intended to work, you're not going to get the results that you desire. Leadership is the way. Remember, this month we're having conversations about like the return on investment of our relationships, of our partnerships, of our marriages. I've talked about this already in this conversation, but I just want to highlight again for a moment that the return on investment of learning to lead our love is results, is safety, is alignment, is more capacity, more courage, more creativity, more energy. And it's the confidence that comes from knowing that our foundation is strong and safe, right? So that we can move beyond our comfort zone into the unknown where everything we desire exists. The kind of other side to this is that if we're not leading in our relationships, there's a cost. We are likely to be misaligned. We are likely to build resentment, to be drained emotionally, to put in a ton of energy and not have it go anywhere, right? You ever feel like you're spinning your wheels or circling around in a carousel you can't get off, repeating the same patterns or banging your head against the wall? You pick your metaphor. You're missing the leadership part, love. You're missing the leadership part. And what I find with business owners or high achieving folks like myself, like I'm sure you are, who's listening, what can happen when we are stuck and our lead and we don't know how to lead, or we're not leading powerfully, is not only that are we draining energy, right? But what can happen is we start to just divert our energy that we've been pouring into trying to make our relationship into our work. And we get just really immersed in our business or our job or our career, and we start really neglecting our relationship at home. We start avoiding it because it doesn't feel good. It doesn't re-energize us. In fact, it drains us. So we go to the place where we think that we're going to get, we probably do experience a higher level of ease. So we're not as drained, but we're not like consciously creating our dreams, right? We might think that if we build our business, we just, or we climb the ladder or whatever it is, that like we'll make the money and have the success. But guys, money and success is not where happiness comes from. Like, and if you're going through a divorce, even if your business or your career is amazingly successful, what is that going to feel like? What is that going to do? What are we going to lose? I mean, and the cost of divorce is astronomical. It's $30,000 on average in the United States, not including splitting your assets or cost of starting over, the cost of childcare, the lost time with your kiddo. I mean, I've been through a divorce twice. I can tell you, it's not fun. And my divorces were pretty damn amicable, like, and easy, and they still sucked. Like, we don't want that, right? Like, I'm not trying to catastrophize, but I also recognize that when we start neglecting our relationship, and I'm like, coasting is not good for our relationship. But when we actively start avoiding the work of our relationship because it doesn't feel good, and just pouring all of our attention and time and energy into our business, our relationship is going to get worse. And you're going to get stuck in this downward loop where nothing is going to fill the hole, because we are built for connection. We are programmed as human beings for community, for like companionship, for co-regulation, for intimacy. And you're going to miss out on that. And you're not going to experience the fulfillment. Even if you realize some of your dreams, you're not going to experience the fulfillment, the richness that life can afford you when you have those dreams with the love and the partnership that we are created for. Okay. And honestly, I don't know how, when we're struggling at home, right? When our relationship is really draining us, how we keep it from bleeding into every other area of our life. It just does. So mastering this leadership piece is I mean, it is the thing. It's the thing that we teach, that we emphasize so much here at Powerful Love. It is the catalyst of our key skill, empowered accountability. It is the inspiration for my new program, which I'm super excited about, the Powerful Love's University for Relational Leadership. Cheers, about to launch that. It's the thing, the one shift, the one thing that I finally figured out how to fucking do that turned my relationship with Cal around. So when you master this, like, you can absolutely turn everything around in your relationship, even if your partner's not on board, even if your partner is not doing the same work with you or any work with you. You don't have to wait for them to change. You get to recognize your own power, use intentionally the influence that you have in this dance, right? And start to take your relationship to where you want to go. You become the catalyst for conditions of connection and support on purpose, right? You walk into your mission, your dreams, right? The decisions you need to make toward your dreams with a higher level of confidence and clarity and energy and courage. Leading in your relationships at home is going to result in an improvement, in a, what's the word I'm looking for? In a beingness. I'm going to say it this way. It's going to result in a beingness, that who you be is a leader. is a confident, is a secure, is a clear, is a powerful leader every area of your life. Tell me that's not game changing. Tell me that's not revolutionary, because if you ask me, in the work that I've done, the hundreds and hundreds of couples that I have seen and supported, that is revolutionary. That is a thing that has been missing. All right, I'm going to wrap up. If you are in the relationship revolution, keep an eye out for your weekly activation. Okay. We are going to tap into how you're leading in your relationship and how you can take this to the next level to support your success in every area of your life. If you are not yet in the relationship revolution, my friend, I would love for you to join. This is a monthly membership. Founding member rate is still available, $97. More than that, it is an opportunity for you to continue to grow and invest in your relationship, to learn and expand and practice leading with love. It is support and community and tools so that you can continue your relationship's growth, so that you can be more effective in how you are showing up in your relationship and create the relationship that you really desire. This is the opportunity, and it's so easy because it's not only really accessible financially, but it's accessible in our time and energy. We're talking little bite-sized pieces for you to pay attention to and practice every week, with accountability, support, feedback, opportunities to get your questions answered so we can break through the things that are getting in your way. I love this program. I love what we are doing here, and I love the changes, the ahas, the beautiful moments of success and like improvement that our members are getting from such an easy to digest and apply way. And you can do this even if your partner's not engaging with you, right? This is for you. And I would love to see you in it, because you, my love, and your relationship deserve your leadership. So I will post the link to join the Relationship Revolution in the conversation notes, details, either up there or down there, however this is playing for you. Find it, click the link, check out more information so you can get more information about what we're doing and why it's so powerful in the Relationship Revolution, and then join if you feel so called. That's it for me this week. I will look forward to seeing you next week, my friends, for another Catalyst conversation in the Relationship Revolution. Again, we're talking about getting a return on investment in our relationships. We are live every Friday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Until then, keep leading with love, please.